Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Let's Play Civilization 6. We're having some difficulty here, having some difficulty keeping our religion functional. But, you know, I think we're gonna be okay. What is this? Alright, she's criticizing us for not being involved enough in espionage, which is something we have very limited control over at this moment. So let's have a quick look at the religion board. Gilgamesh built the Great Lighthouse. That's probably a pretty good wonder for a game that's as heavily naval as this one's going to be. We are their declared friend. I don't need to worry about the knights massing on our border at this moment.
With the advance of feudalism came the growth of iron armor, until, at last, a fighting man resembled an armadillo.
I don't think that was ever true. Armadillo. You're ridiculous. Now, we might want to pull serfdom for a little bit here. Hold on. Okay, we have a market going up. Do we have a market in any of our other cities? I'm trying to figure out how many turns it's going to take us to research guilds. Does this city have a market yet? It does not. And St. Petersburg doesn't even have a commercial hub. And Yaroslavl obviously doesn't either. Yeah, okay, so this is kind of rough. So it probably is going to take us the full 12 turns to research guilds, which means any policy card that we pick now we're stuck with unless we want to pay to change it. We're just about to finish a builder, which kind of makes me want to go for serfdom, but we could drop a production in each city. That seems pretty not awesome. We could drop meritocracy for a little while, which will make it even longer. This is giving us 8 gold per turn. Actually, we can probably drop this for a little while. We're no longer in dire straits. A lot of external trade routes means a lot of money. Oh, the promise made to you by the French Empire to stop converting cities has been broken. Yep. So, what does that mean for me? Does that give me a casus belli? I'm gonna make the promise again. I don't know if that's gonna have any effect. Oh, you know what? We probably don't have the casus belli researched. Right? A bunch of them are later in the tree. Holy War. Yes. Here it is. So, I do think that they kind of screwed up a little bit with the casus belli system by making all of them on the same tech. It seems like these could maybe have been spread throughout the tree in a way that would have been interesting. I'm sure there's a good reason that they put them all together, but I cannot fathom what it is. So, you know what? Let's do Divine Right. This doesn't actually change the number of turns that it takes to get us to theocracy, but this gives us a shorter period before we change policies again. So we'll be able to get serfdom off the books. Is it worth purchasing a builder in one of my cities? As long as we've got serfdom going, you know. This guy still has 2 builds left. Probably not, I think. I think the one more builder is what we really need. Because we've already got a lot of quarries and mines up over here. We could use a banana plantation. We don't actually have enough population to take advantage of a huge number of improved tiles. Although, you know what? A lot of the sugar is not improved yet. Yeah, maybe St. Petersburg buys a builder. 5 builds, okay, yeah. Alright, I think that's probably good enough for taking advantage of a couple of turns of serfdom. Sadly, we are going to have to... Why don't you go do that? We're going to have to purchase some faith units here. I was hoping to wait until we could get the... We can wait until we get some more improvements, but we don't really have the time. We have to keep our religion alive. So actually, I was gonna take a look at the religion pane, and then I got distracted by things occurring. So, Zanzibar and Mohenjo-Daro. Okay, Gilgamesh and Catherine made peace. But somebody is still at war with Mvemba and Zinga. And, you know, Catherine's given us shit about not participating in espionage enough, but you'll notice she's not actually unfriendly to us. Even though we are having some serious religious problems with her. So the capital's having some housing annoyances. Part of it is that we haven't improved enough tiles. Improving the tiles will give us more housing. But also, our religion provides housing. And the loss of our religion is really hurting. I'm going to try to maintain a core of cities, I think. Let's go reconvert Yaroslavl. Really, it's still Catholic. How can that be? Yaroslavl is 1-1. It's 1-1, and that makes it Catholic. It should be at Pantheon belief. It has no dominant religion. All right. Well, I think we're going to keep running to Mbwilla. Zanzibar has a quest for us to give them a trade route. But I don't think we can afford to not take advantage of the free science. We do have some real industry now. We could do a little bit of internal trade, get some stuff done. You know what? Let's do it. Let's do a little bit of internal trade. Because this city kind of wants to build a market to help us move forward through our civics a little more quickly. This market getting completed and this market getting completed would be a significant number of turns off of what do you call it? A significant number of turns off of that guilds. We want to get to our fancy, appropriate religion as quickly as possible. Monarchy will be an okay stopover. Actually, do we want to change to monarchy? I'm not sure. We'll evaluate when we get it. We'll evaluate when we have the opportunity. Alright, so first of all, hill sheep. Tundra hill sheep. It's a pretty okay tile. Alright, we got our religion back, which should help with our housing a little bit. That's still not awesome. Alright, so in 5 turns we'll have the boost for guilds, which is pretty great. I swear to God, Sumeria. Really, we didn't convert the second citizen? Are you kidding me? So you can see here, by default, this shows cities following religion, which I don't think is nearly as useful a view as cities containing religion. So you can see that our religion has started to spread out. It's in... No, there's no... Why is this here? There's no religion in Pergamon. It should not appear on this chart. It's spread out to Kish already just through natural pressure. Ooh, Congo has Jerusalem. Okay, we gotta find Jerusalem. We want to be their suzerain very badly. Where could they be? They must be over here somewhere. Oh, we can see the last player's border, too. What do we need a ship over there? Is this worth sending one of my ships out right now? We need to meet Jerusalem as quickly as possible. Oh, we're about to have cartography. We're about to be able to cross the ocean to the west. So why don't we just wait until that's an option? We could speed this up by building a second harbor, but I don't think that's happening, probably. We want to get our industrial zones going so we can start building factories and stuff. Oh my god, France, get your religious units the hell out of here. Okay, it is completely ridiculous that Yaroslavl is still Catholic after having been hit by 2 Russian charges and a Sumerian charge. That just doesn't make sense at all. Alright, well I'm gonna go push on Kezan, because apparently this Catholic guy is just not convertible. Alright, once we have more copies of sugar, we can be running more trade with other players. Having multiple copies of a luxury doesn't do anything for you domestically, but it allows you to trade your copies with other players freely, which is obviously valuable. I'm finding myself very annoyed by the constant onslaught. Egypt.
I conclude then this point touching upon the power of...
Okay, so let's have a look at the new government we unlocked. Right now we're getting +1 amenity and 15% bonus grade people points. This new government that we've unlocked actually has fewer yellow slots, and it doesn't really do anything for us, so I think we're not going to switch. I think we're going to hold out for Theocracy. Theocracy has all the slots we have now, plus a couple of reds, which are not awesome for us, but they're fine. And it gives us some benefits we actually care about. Oh, I do want to change my policies, though. We probably want to go back to... Well, actually, I was going to say we probably want to go back to caravanseries, but maybe we want to go to Insulae instead. A lot of our cities have 2 districts already. Yeah, I think this is a good idea. In part, I need to maintain my bonuses just because it's really important to me to have the housing for my religion. Yeah, I think the best thing we can do here is build more plantations. Alright, this guy was going to improve more fish resources because obviously that's very valuable to us. He couldn't do it at the moment that he was available last time because we didn't have the money to buy the tile after buying out some other stuff, but after buying that extra builder. This is a real issue for me. So I'm going to go ahead and buy a missionary. I'm a little worried about theological combat occurring. And maybe I don't want to buy a missionary. Yaroslav needs more housing. It's got 2 whole citizens. What were we thinking? It's so overcrowded. Alright, we want to build mines so as to not only buff up the value of these tiles, but mines adjacent to the industrial zone increase the industry output of the industrial zone. So, what is my plan for being able to win the religion game? We have to actually build a lavra in every city. $13 gold plus 5 gold per turn for 30 turns, and they'll give us open borders in exchange for my sugar. I accept. I don't know if open borders helps the spread of religion. It seems like it could. Right? I think there's a... You can make an argument for that being sensible. Alright, Zanzibar is flipping back and forth. The suzerain keeps changing, which is why it keeps declaring peace, then declaring war, then declaring peace. Alright, who wants even more sugar? And trade is good. People that we're actively trading with will like us better. So it's helpful for us in a lot of ways. 165 gold. Harsh. Alright, that's another point of industry for that city. Or production. Whatever. There's a lot of sabers sort of being rattled, kind of being rattled. Alright, guilds get suddenly boosted all at once. So the Hagia Sophia gives your missionaries and apostles an extra spread, and would be really nice to not let somebody else have, but I don't think we can reasonably build it in 52 turns. Somebody's going to beat us to it for sure. I think we should go for a theater square because I think that it behooves us to move more quickly through this tree. We need science as well. Would it be better to build a campus, I wonder? I don't think we need to go for an entertainment square. Our cities are mostly pretty happy. We could just build a workshop, but I don't know that it's necessarily beneficial to spend 13 turns doing that right now. And you know, we have to build a factory at some point here. When we go for it, we need the workshop to be up. So let's build a lavra. I kind of want to save the spaces adjacent to the industrial zone for mining. Alright, we're about to finish the industrial zone in the capital. I really do I love the industrial zone so much. It looks like somebody's coming to us with a trade offer, probably. I don't have any interest in your horses, though. Yeah, I'm sure you are. How about all of your gold? It's interesting that we can't trade for her gold per turn. I wonder why that is. And the Philosopher's Stone. Oh, she will trade me straight up for a Philosopher's Stone. Is that a good deal? Let's see if she'll throw some of this in. Maybe like 50? How about 1? Okay, so there is some number of gold she's willing to give us. We're going to probe for it a little bit. I'll take that. Hey, cool, we got a great work. Yeah, 4 faith per turn. I'm pretty happy about that. So if we can get our military strength high enough, I know this may sound a little silly, but if we can get our military strength high enough, maintaining a state of war with another player is a way that you can potentially keep them from converting you, because you can just murder their missionaries and apostles as they enter your borders. It's not totally ideal, but it is an option that we have. You know what? I'm gonna buy some apostles or some missionaries, and we're gonna push to get these cities converted back. Wow, that is a huge number of knights in boats. France might be in trouble. Alright, so we want to make these purchases here. Oh, I don't have a mosque yet in this city. Is it worth 8 turns to build a mosque? No, I'm just gonna let it build up with faith. So we're gonna not buy any more religious units until I have a mosque in St. Petersburg. And I do want a university. Alright, Moscow is going to be the production capital of our empire, strangely enough. Out here in the middle of nowhere. You get out of here. What reluctance? Yeah, you better smile at me after saying something like that. Boy, he's not having fun with anybody else. Hey, don't come talking to me like that.
You can't go around arresting
you need my friendship, sir. Alright, so what did we just gain? Traveling merchants, town charters, and craftsmen. Craftsman is interesting. I think I'm going to do that. Craftsman is a little bit narrower. The reason he is squawking at us is because his capital lost our religion. We need to do a religion push, but that means we need everybody else to stop. No, I'm gonna stick to the plan here. This guy's going to Kish. And we are going to buy missionaries. We're just going to buy them in Solokamsk. We're not going to wait for St. Petersburg. So we can get 3 science and 2 culture from trading with France. 4 science and 3 culture with Kish. I think that's got to be right. It's not as much gold. But gold is no longer our only guiding star here. So this guy can't he can't build a mine here because he can't clear the forest and build a mine. He only has 1 charge left. So we'll go and make fishing boats on the crab. Increase the value of that tile a little bit. Moscow, considering all the trouble that it's had with the, combat and everything. I'm trying to wait for this apostle to go away before I buy my missionary because I don't want the apostle to just attack our missionary and make stuff awkward for us. Wow, 11, yeah. Sure. Assuming you don't have anything cool. Alright. Bonus copies of your luxury resources, for real. It's good stuff. We're making a ton of money now. I'm not 100% sure what to do with it. We could save up. Factories and workshops are not cheap, but we could save up and buy workshops. How much is a workshop? 700. So every 10 turns we could buy a workshop in the city. That's not horrible. Do I want to make another temple, or do I want to build a workshop? Let's focus our religion game up a little bit here. We have some work yet to do. We probably don't actually need more sugar. But we don't have access to lumber mills. I don't want to just clear this forest. Yeah, let's just get the last sugar. Alright, that guy's moved away far enough that I feel comfortable buying missionaries in Moscow and just bombing this dude super hard with my religion. And then we're going to start moving over here to Greece. We'll religion them up pretty good.
If your actions inspire others to...
Alright. Alright, Sean. That's enough of that. We don't have a mosque. Right. I want to do it in places where we have mosques. See, here, it's a single move for this guy to run over and attack us. And if you lose religious combat, it has a serious effect on the cities around. We basically can't afford to have that happen. Alright, so what technology do we need next? I don't know if there's any technology left that really helps us with the religion game. I'm looking for religious wonders. I don't really see any. We do need to keep our military available, and this religious victory might be a half military victory, so I suppose we should focus on something like that. Somebody built the Venetian arsenal yet? Because if not, that would be an awfully nice thing to have. Even if they have, shipyard is pretty good. Bonus production equal to the adjacency gold bonus of this district, so we can start building up more harbors, make sure they're getting gold bonuses, and then... Yeah. Warfare on this map is going to be very largely naval, and we may have to wipe out a civilization or two in order to make our plan work. Okay, we've met Stockholm. That's cool. We'll definitely give them an envoy. It's just +2 science per turn. Seems pretty sensible. Oh, and now that we have... right, we should grab one of these galleys, one of the ones that has +move on it. Where is a galley with +move? Did I lose them? Yeah, looks like I may have. Okay, well I will in fact upgrade the galley to a caravel. And then we will, on this coming turn, take off. We gotta find Jerusalem and figure out how to make them ours. So, he wants to ally. He'll pay me 132 gold, a luxury I don't have. Yeah, wow, this is a good deal. look, we're buddies. Unfortunately, in this game, allying with somebody does not tie you into their war status. It gives me a free cast a spell ally against anyone who declares war against him, but I am not required to follow him into war. Which is good, because I won't. Okay, Gilgamesh, alright, sorry. Thought I was mistaken. Thought I was mistaken? No, sorry, I was mistaken. Alright, that's fine. That's fine, we don't need to worry about that. Okay, so I'm gonna buy a mosque in Moscow, right? Or do I want to buy it in St. Petersburg? We're gonna have enough faith for it next turn. I think actually probably I'll buy it in St. Petersburg and we'll just build one in Moscow. And then, with the maximum efficiency, missionary bombing. So we're now exerting a lot of pressure on Kazan. Because we're getting it from, we're getting pressure onto it from a bunch of different cities. We should be exerting a fair amount of pressure on Mbanza Congo as well. Let's have a look at the religionometer. Yeah, we have 5 citizens, so if one person in Mbanza Congo converts, it will be ours. That sounds a little bit more ominous. It will be ours. I sound like a supervillain a little bit. But really, I mean this all in the best of intentions. We have an envoy. We're going to save our envoy because, like I said, Jerusalem is out there, and we need to get in on that. Jerusalem's suzerain bonus is that it converts immediately to your religion and exerts religious pressure for your religion as if it were a holy city. So, hopefully, wherever it is, that will help us. I don't know where it could be, but hopefully wherever that is, that will help us. Oh, I have a galley that's still exploring out here. Who did I earn? What did I earn? I earned an artist. A religious artist, no less. Hieronymus Bosch. By the way, if you are not familiar with the work of Hieronymus Bosch, I strongly recommend that you get familiar. This is some crazy, crazy stuff. Okay, we gotta build theater squares. Hieronymus Bosch, just sit, chill for a while. Your day will come, sir. Alright, we've met Amsterdam. Trigger the Eureka for astronomy. Oh, I think that's build a university next to a mountain? Yeah. We don't really have a lot of mountains. So that's not happening. Game really wants me to send my envoy. Alright, so we're about to have mosques in a couple of our cities. Yaroslavl's finally going to finish its industrial zone so it can start working on a lavra of its own. Maybe a commercial hub first, I don't know. We're 6 turns out from Reformed Church. An allied friend reports that Mvumba Nzinga has thanked Cleopatra for cooperating with the agenda fun-loving. Okay, his city must have just converted due to pressure. So, fun-loving, I'm assuming, has something to do with amenities. So we haven't triggered any messages from him about amenities, because we've been basically fine on amenities for the entirety of the game. Pretty great writer. Okay, so this is a problem. There's a lot of Shintoism being spread all over the place. Do you say Shintoism? Maybe it's just Shinto. Maybe that's all you're supposed to say. I don't know. Wait, really? Oh. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I cannot believe what a hard time I'm having converting my own cities back to my religion. Mbanza Congo lost a citizen. That's why it converted. Somebody here... I guess they maybe built a settler. I was going to say somebody here died, but probably it's a settler. Well, we should consider settling again ourselves. We see now that there's a lot of land over here. Maybe this is his plan to settle over here, but... we can maybe settle right here? Or, no, sorry. I was looking at this and thinking it was a river. We'll get fresh water, but that's a road. That's not that useful to us. Where else do I see that we could settle? I think we made a promise to Gilgamesh not to settle near him, and I'd like to not break that promise. I'm definitely nervous about buying religious units with this guy around. If he would just try to convert my cities, that would be one thing. Would you get away from the barbarians? So, getting close to barbarians breaks your auto-explore, because the game doesn't want your units to accidentally get killed by barbarians. It thinks you should be in control when you're close to barbarians, and I appreciate that. But this is a good example of a time when that didn't need to be true. So does our alliance... Do we seriously not have a delegation with him yet? Okay. So, access level secret. Information shared, city-states influence and stuff. Next access level, we'll know when his weapons of mass destruction are built, when he launches attacks, and his actual victory strategy. That's interesting. So we can see fun-loving, tries to make citizens in each city as happy as possible, like civilizations that also make their citizens happy. So we're probably scoring on that. Let's see if that's factoring into our relationship. Good trade relations, friendly meeting. We brought him religion. They pleased with the happy citizens. Yeah, okay. So this guy's agendas just happen to generate in a way that makes him really like the way I'm playing. And this is a good example of the agenda system functioning the way that it's intended to, I think. We know what's up with Mvemba. We can probably keep him happy for the rest of the game. He might declare war on us, and it's not crazy for him to do so. I know a lot of people... we should probably formally meet Greece. Or no, we know Greece already. What am I thinking? I'm looking up here and not seeing Pericles. But he might attack us, and it's not crazy. I know that a lot of people would be like, what the hell, the AI is completely insane. It was my friend, and then it attacked me. The AI should be trying to win the game, which means that you have to lose the game. I don't think that's nuts. But we can probably keep him happy for a good long while. And I hope that that's true, because his army is terrifying. Yeah, we probably should build ancient walls. Let's make a lavra. Do we want to actually... like, grab this tile and put our lavra here, maybe? That way we can get an adjacency bonus for this. And then if we build another district on this tile, it'll power up the lavra a little bit. Okay. What's the story with this landmass? The story with this landmass is that it's tiny and uninhabited due to its tininess. Right, I am going to manually control my explorers for a little while here. I'm really eager to try to find Jerusalem. I think it's got to be on this landmass, given everything. Alright, well the apostles moved away. This seems like a fine time to wait one turn before purchasing any religious units, because we want our mosque. I remembered. So the combat strength of my cities is starting to climb. It's related very heavily to the era that you're in. Actually, we should probably wait for theocracy before we do anything, because it gives us discounts on faith purchases. It's just a tiny island with a tribal village on it. So we don't see a whole lot new yet. We can build another district. Hagia Sophia is still available? Alright, I bet we're not going to get it, but I'm willing to go for it. The capital doesn't have anything that's like super pressing. Except that it doesn't have a commercial hub, I guess, and we could be getting another trade route. Speaking of getting another trade route, I think that we should build a harbor. So this is +2, and it's currently getting 3 adjacency bonuses. So if we built a harbor if we built Yaroslavl's harbor right here, it would give another +1 gold bonus, because we have 4 districts adjacent. And with the shipyard, every point of gold bonus is also a production bonus. So I think that's where we're going to put it. More trade routes, more ships. We do need theater squares too. This city has enough population for 3 districts, and we actually already have 2 up. Oh no, sorry, the second one is the lava. No, we have 2 up. We have industrial zone and commercial hub. So if we build a harbor, we won't be able to build a theater square here. But no, let's build the theater square. We need a place to store our great works. I think it's worthwhile. Do I want to purchase a tile? I think I do. More adjacency bonuses for the lava. Tiny bit of extra faith to build it here. Alright, and then we finally get to our cool new religion, our cool new government type. And now it is the time for a great rearranging of our society. A great reorganization.
I don't like to commit myself about heaven and hell.
Alright, so we are definitely going theocracy. So we stayed a classical republic long enough to get a permanent 5% bonus to great people points, which is cool. Our knowledge of castles has advanced considerably, which we may need to make use of, because I'm concerned. We're going to get attacked eventually. Wars of religion will be useful if we end up having to fight a war of conquest. All religious units +5 religious strength in theological combat is a yellow policy. Why does it have to be yellow? It's a combat-based policy. It's not economic. It should be red. Oh, I think we're going to pick up retainers. We don't have a lot of garrison units, but we can have a lot of garrison units pretty easily. And then we don't have the policy that lets us build naval units of this era more cheaply. But we could pick up limes and try to get to a higher level of walls. I don't know if that's necessarily useful right now, though. Medieval and Renaissance era melee and ranged units. Medieval, Renaissance, and industrial cavalry. We don't have... We have horses? I already can't remember. We do not have horses. Am I pretty happy with these? I think so. Doubles faith yield from holy site district buildings. Do I want to take this over craftsman or insulae, maybe? Or meritocracy, even? No, we definitely want all the culture we can get. We're lacking. It's part of the reason we need to build the theater square. I'm very torn about this. Well, let's... Now, we're actually good at building stuff for a change. And then I guess for this thing we'll just... Wars of Religion actually might apply to your religious units. I'm not sure combat strength... No, religious strength is what you use to do combat. I don't know, conscription, I guess. This at least does something. Alright, let's keep looking for... Jerusalem. Nothing, man. Okay, there's about to be some conflict over here, it looks like. Oh, and yeah, now I don't have a good plan. I guess humanism is probably a good idea because we have an artist. We should learn to get museums. We're boosted all the way through it. Medina Quarter is pretty good. We have 3 districts in a lot of our cities now. At least we're working on a third district in a lot of our cities. The lava helps a lot with this. Yaroslavl is having serious food issues. We need to get a trade unit running out of Yaroslavl. The next time one of our trade units completes their route, we'll have to rebase them so that we can get some food flowing in. So we have open borders with Greece. The fact that they're in our way shouldn't matter too much. We should be able to find Jerusalem, I would think, but did we finally meet? Yeah, here we go. Her audio seems to have desynced from her lips a little bit there. It's odd. Okay, yeah, it is an honor to meet you. I would love to sample your hospitality, and we are going to make absolutely certain not to forget to send her a delegation right away. I will remember your kindness. Good. I don't know what the deal is with first impressions of you. I heard somebody suggest that it may matter whether you meet them with a military unit or a recon unit. That you get a negative. You get a bigger penalty if you meet them with a military unit. I guess that seems possible. That just seems like a modifier that's almost always going to be negative, though. Recon units are not a thing that people put a ton of effort into maintaining. Okay, so we should be buying units. I don't think we need to go for apostles. Missionaries are almost as good at spreading for half the cost. Let's get our push on. It's finally time. We finally have all of our religious ducks in a row, so to speak. And I'm going to use our huge supply of gold. First of all, buy a workshop. And then secondly, how much is a settler? 640? Okay. My delegate learned that Egypt has received a foreign delegation from Russia. My Russian delegate has learned that Russian delegates have arrived. Seems like they maybe could have coded it in such a way that doesn't happen. Sorry, who needs orders? Oh yeah, we have a lot of guys who need orders. It turns out we have a lot of things to do this turn. Alright, so let's start pushing up. Bordeaux and Amboise, maybe? Could be converted. I'm trying to figure out what the best path is. So, does Greece have a religion? Sumeria, France, and Egypt founded the other religions. So we could give Greece our religion and they wouldn't fight back. Alright, make it happen. They won't be mad, and it's another big bunch of cities with our delicious crab love in them. Man, I haven't had crab in forever. It sounds super good right now. Some of that Red Lobster. I'm far too lazy to go to Red Lobster, though. I'll just sit here going, man, seafood sounds really good, and then I'll make myself like a peanut butter sandwich, because I have peanut butter. I don't have to go anywhere for that. Okay, a trading post was established. That's good. That means that a trade route just finished, so we can rebase it to Yaroslavl. We need to get, we do need to get more commercial hubs going, though. If we finish the Hagia Sophia... I don't know if it's Hagia Sophia or Hagia Sophia. If we finish this thing, if we finish the old Sophia, it would be very beneficial to our efforts. Like I said, I don't think it's hugely likely, but... Alright, you need to... I guess let's go... This is a Congo city, I believe. So they should be pretty willing to hear what we have to say. Okay, crossbowmen. So I guess we know that we know that Jerusalem is not over there. Well, shoot, I have no idea where it is then. Maybe up around the other side of this landmass? Seems like it could be. feel like I spent a lot of time building districts in this game. Not that I think it's necessarily a bad thing. Oh wait, who's unhappy? St. Petersburg is unhappy. You would like our extra salt in exchange for 17 gold per turn. Jesus. Yeah, I mean, sure. I know we gave them open borders. The only units that I'm worried about from them are already able to get through our borders. Siberia just declared war on Mohenjo-Daro. Yeah. Shifting city-state alliances produce a lot of news chatter, but not a lot of things that are interesting to me.
People can have the Model T in any color, so long as it's black.
Alright, so Moscow is now one of the cities that least needs trade. We really want trade routes going into Moscow from other cities. Mwilla still gives a lot of science and money. Although trade routes to like Ruin are pretty valuable too now. You know what, let's go ahead and run some trade with France. Alright, this city I think needs to do an internal route. It just needs to be better at what it's doing. So do I want to do 4-5 or 5-4? I think let's go 4-5. Maybe there's an island over here and that's where Jerusalem is? Well, that's where Buenos Aires is. Construct a campus. We can do that. That's a delegate that we can actually get. And Buenos Aires is pretty good. First of all, bonus resources behave like luxury resources is a cool suzerain bonus, and it looks like this city doesn't have a suzerain, weirdly. But also, +2 production in industrial zones when making things that aren't units, basically, is it's pretty good. That's a pretty good bonus. I think that's the only tile I can build it on? Adjacent to the coast and an industrial zone. Oh. So one of these cities could build it like over here. I don't really want to build it over my fish, but I do want to get it done quickly. 66 turns. 51 turns. You know what? Screw it. We'll just put it over the fish. Whatever. Let's get it if we can get it. Doubled production on boats. Seems really powerful. Ruhr Valley is an incredibly good wonder, but it requires a river. And we don't really have a lot of options there. It has to be built adjacent to an industrial zone that has a factory in it and also a river. I guess actually in this city we could put it along. Yeah. Let's get industrialization. Build 3 workshops is kind of a tough boost for us. Still I think it's right. It's true, we do have enough faith to buy a missionary. Let's try to get Kazan to convert. Yaroslav finally succumbed to pressure, which is good. I think Mwilla's going to do the same. We don't have to worry about Mwilla specifically, especially if we can get this city converted. We just need to overwhelm them with pressure coming in from a lot of different sides. Let's get our city back. This trade route can probably be external. So let's trade with Kish because 4 science, 3 culture seems pretty good. I like the fact that I feel like I actually have an incentive not to just trade for industry all the time with these guys. Alright. Unfortunately, once you start building wonders, you put yourself in a position where you have very little to do on some of your turns. Alright, who's having housing problems? Solikamsk and... Well, yeah, yeah, places that don't have access to fresh water. I mean, there's very little I can do about it. Oh, Jerusalem got conquered. That's a shame. I would really have liked to have... Man. Yeah, this would have been a really good city for us to get suzerainship of. Well, I guess I can just put my explorers on auto-explore now. We're no longer frantically searching for this thing. Samaria pillaged a farm with a knight. That's very specific information, Evgeny. Perhaps too specific to be useful.
There are very honest people who do not think that they have had a bargain.
Okay. So Insulae has been completely replaced with Medina Quarter, and I think Medina Quarter is worth putting up. I don't know that we want to change any of our other stuff. No, I don't think so. Okay, that's good. Source of pressure. Like I said, you can just go to auto-explore now. So Cleopatra and Gilgamesh are going to war. We've managed to have a couple of occasions here where we've just ducked out of the war game entirely. We had to deal with Mbanza Congo at first, but that was really it. Alright, so we gotta get humanism, we gotta get art museums going, we might be able to get some museum theming bonus stuff happening. I don't know how much that will actually benefit us. Oh, well, I mean, it does give us a bunch of culture, I suppose. The tourism won't really benefit us that much, probably, but the culture will. Okay, hey, you're finally done with that thing. This is a cool wonder, but obviously we're not going to try to do anything. It's going to take 113 turns. This city needs an internal trade route really badly as well. Badly enough that I think it's probably worth building a commercial hub. Or, I'm being dumb, a harbor. Yeah, obviously it's a harbor. What am I thinking? That'll give a trade route and will eventually yield some production. Alright, 8 turns to a workshop. I'm willing to pay that. It'll help Yaroslavl get off of that trade route. Right now they're completely dependent on it. We met Hong Kong. Okay, that's another one of these. She's kicked over to friendly. I guess we don't have to save this wonder anymore. Or we don't have to save this envoy anymore. So, Buenos Aires has no suzerain. It's not impossible that we could become the suzerain, and that would be pretty beneficial, I think. I'm going to say yes because I'd like to try to maintain a friendly relationship with her, and we're going to strain that relationship pretty hard in the near future by really pushing on her religion. At this point, it might be worthwhile to start building apostles instead of missionaries. Because with apostles, you can do some things that you just can't do with a missionary. We could come up here and start converting... We should start converting the city-states. Yeah, let's do that. These guys are pretty far from land, but Amsterdam will put pressure on Nanmadal. Nanmadal can put pressure on Uruk. Remember, we have the itinerant preachers upgrade that makes our religious pressure go 30% further than normal. I'm trying to right-click off all these things just for my own sake of mind, or my own peace of mind, but apparently we're not going to be allowed to do that. We're also discovering a lot of tribal villages around the edge of the world that nobody has bothered to pick up yet. Yep, Gilgamesh finally built the Hagia Sophia. Okay, that's a shame, but not totally unexpected. Well, let's make our lighthouse on the way to getting a shipyard going. That is a barbarian caravel. I forgot about those. It's been a while since we've seen one. France has built medieval walls. So Zanzibar is freaking out, basically. Oh no, my missionary! Do we have an upgrade? We do not. Crap. Machiavelli. I mean, we'll take him. But don't I already have a great writer? No, yeah. We need theater squares. Very badly. We do have an extra trader slot now, so that's good. Yeah, just chill. If anything, this is at least keeping the, keeping the other players from getting a big push. Okay, so we got a couple of free envoys. How many turns off are we? We are at +7 per turn. We get 2 envoys in, like, 7 turns. We'll put them both in Buenos Aires and get free bonus amenities. Which will both be good for us and good for our relationship with Mfemba. St. Petersburg needs a little bit of extra love. We really need just, like, a lot of districts. Pilgrims in France are now flocking to see the holy relic robes of the Guru. Maybe we can get that away from her as well. She seems to be pretty willing to trade that stuff. I think she's thinking of it as, I'm not going for a culture victory, so who cares? But it is faith relevant. We should maybe buy a boat. You know, we have all this money. I know that I wanted to mostly purchase workshops, but, like, how much is a caravel? 960. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it. So we have to move... no. Move out of here. Alright. Our caravel will fight this barbarian caravel, and everything will be great. You will stay far away from that enemy. Hey look, Sparta. Please don't attack Stockholm. I'm really enjoying having a little bit of free science. Sumeria just entered the modern era. How are we doing? We're in the Renaissance. We're about to enter industrial. When I say about, obviously, I'm saying that pretty loosely. And what is this? Yeah, she doesn't like it when people's armies are weak. My army's not weak. It's, you know, deceptive. We're playing possum right now. If somebody should attack us, oh, what a fool that would... Yeah.
You must not lose faith in humanity. Humanity is like an ocean. If a few drops of the ocean are dirty...
Don't think we want to change our wildcard policy. I do think we want to let these guys have it. Hey everybody, look it! We're helping! We're helping everyone! I don't know where this came from. We're gonna have to figure out where the camp that's spawning these is, probably. Alright, good. A couple of sources of pressure in the middle of this landmass should help push our religion out to the edges of it relatively quickly. We don't really need naval tradition, I don't think. We still don't have military tradition, remarkably enough. Mercantilism is pretty good. Hold on. Somewhere, there is a policy that gives tremendous bonuses to the production of naval units. Where is it? Colonialism is the thing we're talking about. So... I mean, we should pick up diplomatic service. We should get some spies going and spy on people. Wait, do I want to do this? If I pick up diplomatic service, she's going to get, all of a sudden, very pissy with me if I don't go hard on spying. But is there actually a benefit to spying for me? I guess I can at least set up counter spies. Maybe that'll be good enough for her. Maybe she'll like that. Yeah, every city-state has declared war on every other city-state. Whatever, man. Yeah. We'd be happy to be friends. I guess we're friends. Ugh, come on. She doesn't even have anything to say. You're weak. You're weak. How about that, huh? How do you like it when people call names? Yeah, it hurts. Hurts, doesn't it? Alright, well this should, yeah, destroy the barbarian unit. I'm not sure why it even did that. Let's just head back home and heal up. And shipyard. Right? Shipyard? Is this a sensible thing to do? Theater Square? Nah, shipyard. Our harbor does have a +1 adjacency bonus right now, I believe. So, adjacency gold bonus, so it'll get a +2 or a +1 production as well. I'd be really worried about this if she hadn't just declared friendship with me. She actually can't attack me, so I'm not too worried. We actually maybe should be building an entertainment complex. Moscow doesn't have enough food to grow. That's a problem. A problem that we will solve later. Actually, you know what I just realized? We have an amphitheater not purchased, and that could be holding one of our great works. We might accidentally win a culture victory. This might turn into a culture victory. I accept this deal. Cotton is a new luxury. How can you thank me indeed? I have an idea. Stop scowling at me. That's all I ask. Alright, well, Gilgamesh is getting further ahead. Well, I'm going to make a trade route with him. I considered moving this to Moscow, but I think we're going to just try to keep up on science without having to actually build a lot of campuses or anything. So the harbor buildings give some housing, and they're kind of a little bit of everything. They're actually quite good. I think I've undervalued the harbor a lot in some of my games. Oh, I forgot to stop researching industrialization. We're going to let this complete through boosts. So I need... what do I need? I guess steam power? Gets me more ships, with which I can control the waves. And it gives me coal. Yeah, let's move to square rigging. We're never going to kill a unit with a musket man, so this one's not getting boosted. But we can take advantage of this other boost. So is this workshop 3 or 2? I don't know. We might finish that tech right here. Free market. Free market sounds like a policy that's from a much later era than my policies are from. I think I might still be using some policies from the very beginning of the game, honestly. Yep, okay, that was the last workshop.
Violent economic.
So we now have the ability to build factories, which is a pretty powerful thing. If I built an entertainment complex, what is 6 tiles away? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So an entertainment complex here would reach all 3 of these cities. I don't think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it would reach Moscow. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost to Kazan. Not quite. Well, I think it's going to be an entertainment complex right here, because I think we're starting to get to the part of the game where we need one. I'm going to need this tile, please. And yes, we do definitely still need theater squares and stuff, but one thing at a time. Alright, I'm going to purchase another missionary and an apostle. So here's my thinking. We're gonna buy apostles until we get one who has the proselytizer upgrade. And what proselytizer does is it allows you to eliminate all traces of another religion while spreading around. So we're going to hit the holy city of Catholicism with a proselytizer, switch it all the way over to Crablove, and then we'll probably hit her cities with missionaries right afterward. And we can probably convert her to our religion heavily enough that it's hard for her to get back. I know the AI is not particularly adept at dealing with that strategy. Oh, we're over an hour again. Man, I really get into this game. Well, this would be a fine time to stop, because we're about to get diplomatic service, and things are about to change. We're going to try to get some embassies established. We're going to get to see what promotion our apostle got. Welcome, me, to the industrial era. So, you know what? Maybe I do want to run a trade route out of Moscow. Trade routes with Kish are really valuable. But an internal trade route out of Moscow would give them population and would complete the Venetian arsenal more quickly. Yeah, until the arsenal is completed, maybe I should be doing that. So, we started with Pilgrim. Okay, if we move adjacent to a natural wonder, we'll gain 3 spreads. So we'll have to find one. Your job is just to go to... Damn it. Your job is just to go to Nanmadal and make that thing happen. Yeah. Who else needs orders? You can go back on Auto Explore now that you don't see any barbarians again. We got some envoys, so we're going to take suzerainty of Buenos Aires. So that'll help with our amenities problem a little bit. Trigger an inspiration for opera and ballet. Oh, they both want the same thing, actually. Our roads have improved. We don't really have a lot of roads. A barbarian settler. That would be fun to snatch. Oh, I forgot that I was going to make a settler at some point. Well, we're going to buy him right now, and that way I don't have to remember this at the beginning of the next episode. I know that prevents us from buying the amphitheater, but, you know, one thing at a time here. Alright, well, I think that's going to be it for this episode of Let's Play Civilization 6. We are going to go for this religious victory. We're going to need a lot of apostles with a lot of good upgrades. So here's hoping we can pull that off. We may as well... Oh, we could buy one in St. Petersburg, actually, because we did move our missionary out. Alright. Yeah, that's going to be it. Come back next time. We're going to try our best to convert the entire religion of, or the entire country of France to our religion. And we'll see you then.